And we are back here, 8:08 a.m., and as promised, we have Jeff Klotzman in the studio. Jeff, what is your title with LISD, Lubbock Independent School District?
Thank you so much. I'm the Executive Director of Communications and Community Relations.
Okay. And you brought with you
whatever that means.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm the PR guy.
But the important person here today,
he's the face of Lubbock.
Executive Principal Cicely Alexander is with us, and I can't wait to hear what an executive principal is. You guys are doing, as we were talking off mic, making some major changes.
Yes, we are.
Well, Cicely, tell us first off, what is an executive principal?
Well, the biggest term that you need to hear in the word executive principal is principal. I am just leaving the principal role. A major part of what I will do will be to serve alongside the principals of Alderson Elementary, Irvin, Hodges, and Dunbar.
Yeah.
And so in whatever capacity that they need support. Whether it's working with parents, working with curriculum, being that bridge so that they feel supported.
Now, what I understand is you don't work for Lubbock ISD.
That is correct.
You're an independent contractor, and there's another board that you work for, I guess.
Well, so actually, it is, let me differentiate that. It's actually the Lubbock Partnership Network Management Committee. And so I actually am the sole employee of the Lubbock Partnership Network.
And your goal is to get Dunbar and some of these other schools whipped into shape.
Well,
is that a fair way to say it?
Well, let me just tell you, going into this role, the trajectory, we were already progressing academically, behaviorally. We were on fire. So now we have, honestly, more resources provided by the state to get us where we need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way this worked is Dunbar for the last 5 years has been a school with IR. So it's improvement required ratings. They missed getting out of IR by 2 points last year. So they have made tremendous progress. But the state mandates, if you're on IR for 5 years, then you can either change the management of the school district, or you close the school for a year. And Dunbar has this rich tradition in East Lubbock. It was a high school. I mean, it dates back to the 1920s, Dave.
Right.
And so that would be a crime to close. There's such great pride in Dunbar. It is one of the crown jewels of schools on the east side of the city. So what the Lubbock Independent School District has done is basically gone to the state and say, here's what we think we can do based on what other districts are doing, and we think we can turn this around and turn it around very quickly. And Cicely is the first. She's the first crown jewel in making that happen.
Well, thanks for that vote of confidence.
Well, she will get it done. I mean, she made tremendous changes at Alderson in a year. So we're looking at her and saying, okay, make it happen.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Cicely, do tell us what our listeners and those who we have parents and grandparents that listen to this show. That's basically our demo, and many of them will have kids that'll be going to Dunbar. What should they know about you and this situation?
Well, first of all, I am coming in as a former Lubbock ISD employee. I served happily, joyfully, Lubbock ISD for 23 years as a teacher, as a counselor, assistant principal, a math specialist. I absolutely love and believe in Lubbock ISD. All three of my children are products of Lubbock ISD. I've got to throw this tweet in. My son went to Harvard. That just speaks to, or goes to Harvard. He just finished his first year. That just speaks to the caliber and the quality of education that any child can get from Lubbock ISD schools. So I have to toot that horn for Lubbock ISD. So a part of my role is to be someone who can bridge the gap. In Lubbock Partnership Network, the biggest word that needs to stand out is partnership, honestly. This is a partnership between Lubbock ISD and LPN. And basically, my role is to support the principals, to be their mouthpiece if needed. And they have great personalities. They can speak for themselves. But when I need to speak for them, to be a mouthpiece so that they can get the resources that they need, the support they need, so that they can do their job, work with their teams, work with our teams, so that our students can be academically successful.
Hey, we do want to remind our audience, if you have questions for either Jeff Klotzman or Principal Cicely Alexander, our text lines are open at 806-680-2790. Cicely, what is your background in education?
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I was a classroom teacher. I actually started off at Ramirez Elementary, so proud to be there. Then I moved on working within Lubbock ISD schools as a behavior counselor. I became assistant principal at Preston Smith Elementary, and then I moved on to Whiteside Elementary as principal. And then my last role was principal of Alderson Elementary.
Are you a product of Texas Tech?
Yes, I am. Guns up.
All right. Okay, then you're okay.
Yes.
So, we're good to go.
I'm a current student working on my doctorate there.
So let me, I want to ask you just one of the things we talked about in the break, but y'all are making a lot of changes over there, and one is that y'all are making some personnel changes. Kind of talk about, you gave us an example of Dunbar. Kind of talk about what kind of personnel changes you're making there and why.
Okay, we're really, really excited. So, Dr. Rollo, her cabinet, Lubbock ISD, has been 100% supportive of ensuring that Dunbar has quality staff in place, experienced teachers who were able to come over for this school year, who have moved students, who have a track record of academic success with students. And so Dunbar next year will open its doors with over 60% new teachers who are experienced and who have a proven track record of academic success. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Dave, they're being paid from the state a stipend because to change the perspective at Dunbar. They're making $10,000 more a year for 3 years.
That certainly would attract some.
That's right. So, I mean, the teachers over there, they have to be what we call green or dark green, which is the highest rated teachers that we have in the state.
Well,
everyone. Well, and that's the proven aspect is you put resources into these schools, they will make a huge difference.
We will create results.
And can I just add that the money is not the only drawing power.
Right.
I've lived in that feeder pattern for 2 years now. We have the best students in Lubbock ISD. They love hard. I can speak for Alderson because I just left that space. The best teachers. I have the best team, assistant principals, counselor, and they are excited. And their energy level and level of innovation and ready to do everything but stand in front of a diesel to get results.
All right. We're going to have to take a quick break here at 8:17 a.m. Dave and Matt in the morning will return with people from Lubbock ISD, the folks from Lubbock ISD, talking about all these things that are pretty interesting. Back with more in a moment. And we're back at 8:22 a.m. Of course, we have Executive Principal Cicely Alexander with us this morning, and that's some exciting information that you have relayed to us.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it, but I do want to give you an opportunity to kind of give you an open mic and talk about some things that you want to, some information you want to impart to our listeners this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So first of all, the 5 focus areas that all of the LPN schools will focus on is early literacy in the elementary schools, social emotional learning and professional development for students and staff, highly tailored and innovative professional development for staff, and also using data to inform students. The difference between the other 3 schools and Dunbar is Dunbar We'll have the extra ACE program, as aforementioned. And so that basically, ACE stands for Accelerating Campus Excellence. So because Dunbar needs just a little bit more support than the other campuses, they will have a slightly more resources than what the other campuses have access to get the job done.
Good.
So, let's see. Sorry, I've got to change gears here. But as far as we were talking a little bit about extracurricular activities.
Yes.
How important are extracurricular activities? And you named a few during the break, but talk about some of the ones that y'all are going to add.
Absolutely. So we are charged with educating the entire child, the whole child, not just the 3 R's, reading, writing, arithmetic, but the entire child. So, for example, all of our schools will be including chess, robotics, and participating at Texas Tech.
Now, remind us the age of these kids at Dunbar.
At Dunbar, they are 6th, 7th, and 8th graders.
And they'll have an opportunity to learn chess, huh?
Absolutely. In fact, Dunbar has had a phenomenal chess team in years past that won in the district. So,
Wow.
Yes, absolutely. And not just in the district, but even in outside competitions.
And we need to remind people about the history of Dunbar in this town. I didn't know they go back to
1923.
1923. Jeez, I did not realize that.
Not in the same school. That school was built in the 50s. Where Dunbar High School, and now it's Dunbar
Was it
College
Dunbar in
Preparatory Academy.
Was it Dunbar in 1923?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
So it's a tremendous history that goes back to that school, and no doubt thousands and thousands and thousands of kids have been through Dunbar during that time.
Absolutely, and they've got a proud alumni group. I mean, it's like Lubbock High.
Mm-hmm.
Proud alums, and they who are extremely interested in seeing this school succeed.
And exactly. So you're obviously going to do whatever it takes to make it succeed and get back on the right path. And that's your task. So do you sleep well at night, Cicely?
Actually, so I have a motto, I'll sleep when I die. I actually, for many years, I live and breathe what I do. So I'm always trying to problem solve and collaborate. Honestly, work with my friends who are in education, consult. I'm calling, I'm texting. Hey, we can do this. How about we do this? So,
well, listen, we certainly want to keep track of this, and we want you back here. We want to know how this is progressing as time goes by.
Thank you.
Because, okay, you got a year to get it done.
Well, actually, it's 3.
Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah.
Actually, it's 3.
But hey, you did it in one,
Yes,
so you
sir.
can do it again.
Yes. Keep in mind, that was a team but we did do it in 1 year.
Yeah, I understand.
No one places higher expectations on herself than Cicely. I can tell you that.
And so this
She
is going
is
to
amazing educator.
this will
Thank you.
start with the fall semester, I suppose.
Yes, sir. And actually, we started yesterday. We started yesterday. Yes, sir. We've been working toward ending the year. We started it and actually backed up into the middle of the year. So we've been working all year on this plan.
So how many new teachers have you hired?
At Alderson or Dunbar or Dunbar, again, about 62% of that staff will be new, but that's including teachers and teaching assistants.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And we want to give a shout out to Gabe Gillespie, who's the principal at Dunbar, another terrific educator he is committed to this unlike anyone I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
I mean, and it is requiring a lot of work on his behalf to make this work.
Absolutely.
He's doing a great job.
Absolutely. And I want to add, I'm glad you brought that up. I also want to add the stability that Jocelyn Cotton at Irvin provides. She's a pillar of the community. She and her husband pastor church in the community. They've done an outstanding job for years. And then Alice Jimenez at Hodges. Fantastic job. So we're just excited about this opportunity.
So really, your employer is like the state of Texas, I suppose. They will be keeping track of how this goes?
The LPN management team answers to the Board of Trustees of the Lubbock Independent School District.
Okay. Well, and there's the music, and our time is up. We're up against the clock. Very interesting. A lot more questions I'd love to ask. But I do want you to check back in with us next year.
Absolutely.
Not next year, but next school season, and see how this is progressing. It's going to be very interesting. And it's very, very important. You can't overstate its importance.
I'd be honored. Thank you.
Okay.